friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And I'm here for another garage sale finds video. I like doing these videos for a few reasons, and one is because it's just fun for me to be able to share some of the goodies that I found, but also because I'm hoping to help encourage people if you're looking for items to be frugal, or if you're looking for items for prepping. Garage sales, secondhand stores, yard sales, rummage sales, all these kinds of things are great places to find what you need. You just have to be patient and keep trying. Some things you will find at every single garage sale, such as candles. I have lots and lots of candles, and I'll go over in a bit why we collect lots of candles. Canning jars is another thing that you can find. And we all know if you're into canning, you never seem to have enough canning jars. There's books, there's yard tools, there's all kinds of very useful things that you can find, things that are either consumable, such as the candles, so might go through quite a few of them, or things that you can recycle and turn into other things. And then sometimes there's just things that you pick up because, well, they're just nice and they might be a bit of a guilty pleasure. Now, I know we live in our society, we're seeing kind of this split where you have people that are into just amassing all kinds of different stuff and people that are into minimalism. Yeah, garage selling can still fit into either one of these, whether it be that you like stocking up on things or you're trying to find a way to minimize and yet save money and find things for a good price. So I know there's minimalists out there that are also into being prepared, and it can be kind of a fine line trying to figure out how do you be a minimalist while also being ready for whatever comes. And I think canning is one of those things that you can do. Yes, you need space to store your canning, but it's food, it's money put away in the form of food. And so canning jars, right here, I got a set of a dozen canning jars for $3. Now that's probably a little bit more than I usually pay for garage sale canning jars, but it's still a great deal. They're all in perfect shape. They just need some cleaning up. And when you consider these are all wide mouth jars, the lowest price you can find for a brand new box of a dozen wide mouth jars is going to be $12. At least that's what it is here, but I've seen them for a lot more in other places. We actually have, our local store actually has a pretty good price on brand new jars. However, I haven't had to buy brand new jars in a long time because every year I usually get a good score on canning jars at garage sales. So this was one of my recent finds. And then a few weeks ago, I had got a box of canning jars for maybe $1. They were all the smaller ones, but they're still, all of them I use. It used to be I only used one size, one type. Now I use all of them because they all have different uses, different purposes. Now another thing I got that, because those of you who've been following me know that I like to collect old books. Now this book isn't old, it was actually published in 1983. However, it is the collection of Alexander Dumas books, those three classics, Three Musketeers, The Count of Monte Cristo, and The Man in the Iron Mask. And I thought it was pretty cool. They're all right here in this one really big book. And so the classics are another thing. Even if they're not an old print, it's still nice having these classics on hand in hard copy form. Okay, and this one here is definitely more of a guilty pleasure, but it does have its use, and it's a lantern for putting a votive candle in, or even a taller candle, and for using the sake of light. Now, for someone who's just into home decor, somebody might just want this for decoration purposes. Now, I like it because it's kind of rustic looking. It's got the trees, it's got the moose. But I also use this for lighting my home. Now, if you haven't seen how we light our home, I do have a video just on that, and I'll go ahead and link to it right up here. We do use candles a lot, we use lanterns, and we use LED lighting quite a bit. That's what we use predominantly, is LED lighting all throughout the house in the form of string lights, because they burn the least amount of electricity and they're pretty, and we can run them off our solar power all year round. So we don't need to use any electricity to light our home. So candles are one of the ways that we do that. And so I do have a couple of really nice candles I picked up here. This one's been lit once. This one hasn't been lit at all. This is actually a party light candle. And they're just very pretty. And these I'll be more apt to use for lighting purposes, just because they also look nice. But moving on to these other candles, this box here, oh, it's actually pretty heavy. I think we paid $1.50 for this whole box, or maybe $2 when you count the votives that are in there. And Patrick's already used some of them to make fire starters, and that's mostly what these are for, is for the sake of melting down and using to make fire starters. And we go through quite a bit of these. We're actually thinking of selling, if I ever get around to it, the little fire starter pucks on our Etsy store. And maybe by the time this video comes out, I'll have them up there. But if not, maybe, and you're interested, just remind me. I'll try to get around to that. But this is why we buy candles like this. If we can find them, like a candle like this to buy, or especially even one like this, you're looking at least $10. I've spent $10 on candles like this just for the sake of lighting. $10 a piece, just a simple, unscented, basic candle, no color to it, $10 a piece. But you can go to a garage sale and pick up a whole box of them for $1.50. And so even if I was just decided to use these for lighting the home, it's still a great deal. Either way, no matter how you look at it. But mostly we're probably going to be using those for making fire starters. And then in this box is another box of candles. I paid a little bit more for these. These were party light candles, all brand new, but it was kind of a mismatch thing. I think I paid $5 for the whole thing with the bucket, which is more than I would normally pay for something like that. However, these votives, these size votives, the one thing I like about the party light votives is they're just a little bit smaller in the shape. They work well in all kinds of different candle holders, you know, including this one over here, or even the smaller ones. And they also fit, let's say you use the tea lights, and I use tea lights in different things too. Once you use up the tea light, you can actually drop the votive right into the tea light holder and reuse it if you're wanting something that's just going to keep your wax from melting all over the place. And so I do actually burn votives. And so this, when I counted all this up, she was wanting, because she was a party light distributor, she was wanting, you know, to sell them two for $1, which is understandable, brand new candles. So when I counted all this up, it was more than worth. I mean, there would be at least like $15 worth of candles in here. So it was still worth the $5, especially considering the other really good deals I got. Now this was more of a guilty pleasure because I really don't need any more votive holders or candle holders, but I thought they were pretty. I love green, especially this deeper, kind of more natural, woodsy looking green. And so I did pick these up at the same place that I got those. And she charged $1 a piece, which I thought was reasonable for what they are. This, or I should say these, I had thought it was actually one thing. These are LED lights. And there is, after I got it home, I realized that it's like a set. It's a string, like of these little tiny trees. I actually got these for using as indoor lighting. And, you know, it's LED is going to use hardly any electricity because I use LED lighting all through the house in string lights. And I thought this would be just kind of an interesting, pretty way for me to add some more light in the darker corners of our home. Okay, now the last thing I wanted to talk about was some fabrics that I picked up. Always finding new fabrics. People buy fabrics and never use them. Look at this. I just thought this one was beautiful. I think I'm showing the, here, let's show it the inside of it, the actual right side of it. It's got a bit of a paisley print over this ombre looking fabric, and I thought it was beautiful. And I may use this. I actually have a couple of skirt ideas for an autumn glory skirt that I'm going to be coming up with soon. Here's another autumny print, and then another one. This would look really good in one of the autumn glory ideas that I have. And then these I got them all at different garage sales. There's that. I'm not sure exactly where I'll fit it in. These ones here all go together beautifully, and I got them all at different garage sales. These ones have already been cut out into squares. A lovely shade of sage. And then there's this purple and green stripe. It's got a couple of different shades of green. It goes well with that. There's this right here, which is kind of a deeper sage color. Here's this lavender. Again, goes very well with that. And then some more little prints. They all match. They all go beautifully with these colors. And then this purple here. So, and purple is one of the ones I need a lot of, especially this type of purple where it's kind of a little more not quite so bright, because it goes really well with the, blends in with the purple, the amethyst beauty skirt that I make, and as well as something like this where it's kind of a little more muted shades. So I really am doing good on getting some wonderful fabrics for making the skirts and aprons and purses. This is fun. And the baskets too, because I'm getting into making those baskets at least a little at a time. And then the last thing actually was this little thing here. I'm always needing stuff like this, de-slickify stuff, and she had a price tag on it, I realize now, but she just gave it to me. So that was pretty cool. So anyway, yeah, these are great for putting under carpets that don't stick well to the floor. I've got a couple of those, even though they're rubber back, they still don't stick really well, probably because they're a little bit old. And so having something like this having this kind of stuff, this rubbery stuff to put under there is going to help hold it in place. And I've also had rugs that I've crocheted and made, and with no backing on it. And those are really good for putting under your handmade rugs, you know, whether it be a rag rug or a crocheted rug or whatever it is that you make. Okay, I almost forgot this one. This was another fabric I got, and there's 5 yards here, and they charged me $1 a yard, and it's hand dyed fabric, and I thought it was just beautiful. I've got a couple of different ideas of some skirts that I want to make using this fabric. So it's really great to be able to add to my fabric supply. But even if you're not, you know, like me, and you've got an Etsy store where you're making and selling skirts or things like that, stocking up on some nice fabrics to have on hand as far as prepping goes is a really good idea. And you can find them in the forms of sheets, curtains, or even just fabric by the yard where people buy fabric and then never use it. And you can have that on hand for making yourself your own clothes, making clothes for your family, or making curtains for yourself, or even just having curtains. Like we got all new curtains for our living room. I finally was able to get rid of those blinds. I was hating those old mini blinds. They're so hard to clean, and I got some real nice curtains, and I paid $10 for the whole set. And not only was it able to cover my big living room window, which is a really big window, I had enough also to put in front of the sliding glass door in my rec room, in my work room, where I have my sewing machine. So now I can actually close those curtains and have some privacy when I need it. So it was really a good deal. So don't give up. If you're a little hesitant on garage selling, I know for some people finding good deals at garage sales in your area can differ, but I still would, if you can make the time, sometimes it's just a fun outing, even if you don't find much. Just Patrick and I enjoy just being able to hop in the rig, go for a drive, especially if it's a day like today, on a Saturday or a Friday or even a Sunday, and hit some of these garage sales, and you get to talk to people too. You get to socialize and get out, and it's even if you don't buy anything, I mean, it's a way just to get out and do something fun and enjoy yourself, and it's very frugal. So, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will probably do at least a couple more of these before the summer's over, and be watching, because eventually Mr. Rain will probably just do one big one at the end of the season showing all the goodies he's collected at the various garage sales. But to be honest, I'm the one that's been doing most of the scoring on the garage sales, but he's found some pretty cool things. Okay then, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.